There are kinds of distance you can train for. Time zones. Weather. The way days fold into each other when you measure them by briefings and checks instead of meals. I had learned how to parent from afar with a kind of procedural calm, scheduled calls, short questions, steady voice. I believed routine could hold the fear at bay. Then, the phone rang outside the schedule. My son didn't say hello. He whispered my name like it was a code that might fail if spoken aloud. He told me what had happened in pieces, clipped and careful. The way kids talk when they've learned that volume has consequences. He said he'd been hurt again. He said the man told him I couldn't do anything, that I was a soldier 1,000 miles away. I felt my training try to assert itself. Breathe, assess, slow the moment. Then I heard another hand on the phone. A man's voice, level, confident, unhurried. He didn't threaten me. He explained the world. "You heard the boy," he said. "My brothers run this town." The line went dead. For a few seconds, I stayed still. Not because I didn't know what to do, but because I knew exactly what every bad option looked like. Rage would cost me everything. Silence would cost my son more. I walked to my commanding officer's office and asked for 5 minutes. I didn't dress the story up. I didn't ask for anything. I put the facts on the table the way I'd learned to. Names, times, words spoken. I said where my son lived. I said what the man had claimed about influence. My CO didn't interrupt. He didn't frown. He waited until I was done, then leaned back like he was settling a decision that had already been made. "Go," he said. "Take the whole damn team with you. You're going on emergency leave." There was no ceremony. There didn't need to be. Authority doesn't always announce itself. Sometimes it just moves. We didn't arrive the way the town expected trouble to arrive. No convoy. No noise. Paperwork went first. Requests, notifications. Coordination that turned rumor into record. By the time we crossed the county line, local confidence had already begun to thin. The town looked ordinary. That's how these places survive. Gas station. High school. A courthouse that leaned slightly forward, like it had something to say but didn't want to be asked. People waved because waving is what you do when you believe nothing applies to you. We didn't go to the man's house first. We went to offices. We asked questions that required answers. We listened. We waited. Pressure isn't loud when it's effective, it's patient. The myth of brothers running a town depends on everyone agreeing not to test it. Records surfaced. Statements aligned. The language changed from certainty to cooperation. The man who had grabbed my son's phone was suddenly very interested in procedure. His voice lost its calm. Influence, it turns out, doesn't like documentation. When I finally saw my son, he didn't run to me. He stood where he was and watched, measuring whether the ground had really shifted. I knelt so my eyes were level with his and told him he was safe. Not forever, nothing honest promises that. But now, he nodded like someone filing information for later. The rest happened the way real consequences usually do. Slowly. Officially, without spectacle. People who had been loud went quiet. Doors that had been closed opened because they were required to. The town learned a new posture. We left the same way we arrived. Back on base, my CO didn't ask for details. He didn't need them. He signed what needed signing and told me to take the time I had been given. The marks this left on my career were real, and I accepted them. Protection isn't free. At night, I still think about the call. about how close helplessness can come without touching you. I think about how authority, when it works, doesn't feel like revenge. It feels like gravity reasserting itself. My son sleeps with the light off again. He still checks locks. So do I. Fear doesn't vanish. It learns where to sit. I went back to duty changed. Not hardened, clarified. I know now that power doesn't belong to the loudest voice on the line. It belongs to the people willing to put their names on the record and stand there while it's read. And if someone ever tells my son that distance means I can't do a thing, they are wrong.